today's project diary, I will teach you how to make stinging nettle fertiliser and show you the health benefits of drinking stinging nettle tea. Hi guys, welcome to Project Diaries. Now today I want to continue my series of homemade organic fertilisers. If you haven't seen lots of my other videos, I will leave the link at the end of this video, so stick around. So people spend a lot of money on fertilisers and you really don't need to, because there's so many different things that you can turn into a good plant feed. So I'm going to continue doing this series, but today I'm going to focus on stinging nettle tea. Now stinging nettles are all over the place. You can get them on hedgerows, by the side of the road, or some people's gardens. Luckily a friend of mine has actually dropped me a whole bag of stinging nettles today, so Kaylee, thank you so much for doing that. So today I'm going to do this, a really simple tutorial, but I will say I've already stung myself this morning, so be very careful. You can see I've already got long sleeves and I'm going to put some gloves on today as well, so be really careful when handling stinging nettles. But they are really beneficial. It's a really high nitrogen feed, and it's also got loads of other goodness that I'll continue talking about in a minute. So I'm just going to get these on and let's go outside. So you can make this stinging nettle tea on any kind of scale that you want, whether you want to put these in a huge large water butt or you want to use a bucket. I've thankfully got this off another friend of mine called Matt, so thanks a lot for this. He does a lot of home brews, so this has also got a really good tap on it. And it's massive, so I think it goes up to 23 litres. So I'm going to fill this up today and make as many as I can, or as much as I can. So here's how to do it. So it's fantastic that this container's got a lid, because this will come in really handy later. But one of the biggest notes is when you're harvesting these stinging nettle leaves, you really want to make sure you're just getting the leaves and you're not getting the seed heads like this. If you get the seed heads and you make lots of this without a filtration system, you may end up spreading the seeds all over your garden, and that will just be a nightmare. As much as nettles are really beneficial, you really don't want these taking over your garden. So I always choose to harvest these from places like parks or out in the country, somewhere that's really open. You don't want these too close to traffic, because obviously the pollutants from petrol and things like that can absorb into these. And obviously I want to try and keep this garden as organic as possible, so the last thing that I want to do is use these that are basically just soaked in traffic and pollution and put those chemicals into the garden while I'm trying to make this really good nutritious feed. So the next thing you want to do is fill your bucket up with water. Now I like to use rainwater, and there's a lot of people asking me how I harvest this. And I basically just have a guttering system coming off the shed straight into one of these really big water butts. Now I've got these free on the internet. I've got them from various places such as Facebook Marketplace and a thing called Gumtree. Now if you're not part of in the UK, then Gumtree is a bit more like an eBay, but there's a free section on there, so definitely keep an eye out for free water butts, because it's really handy and it keeps the bills down. And this one just fills up and then filters into this second one. Now I like to leave the lid off because the leaves from the trees fall into here, and that also then ferments and becomes more of a nitrogen boost and works for an extra feed. So it's really good to do that. But anyway, carrying on, let's get back to the tutorial. So I'm using all the nettles I've been given today, but it's advisable to fill this up as much as you can, because you pack in more nutrients that way. Once you've done that, you then need to fill your container up with water. Not only is nettle tea really good for your plants, it's also beneficial for your own health. So while I'm waiting for the bucket to fill up with water, here's some additional information on drinking nettle tea. These are the 5 main health benefits of consuming stinging nettles. Number 1 is it can help people with UTIs. Nettle tea may help with flushing out harmful bacteria from urinary tracts. It can help those who have urinary conditions such as benign prostatic hyperplasia. BPH causes an enlarged prostate gland in men. This can cause pain and other problems with natural urination. A 2013 study showed that men with BPH who took nettle extracts had fewer clinical symptoms than those who didn't. Now I've had kidney issues in the past, and UTIs can be excruciatingly painful, so I really hope this information can help those relieve those symptoms. Number 2 is arthritis and pain. Now if you follow my channel closely, you'll know that my arthritis pain gets so severe I'm unable to make videos in the winter. But nettle tea has historically been used to treat pain and sore muscles, especially related to arthritis. The Arthritis Foundation suggests that nettle tea may also reduce the inflammation and pain associated with osteoarthritis. So I'm definitely going to start drinking more of this in the colder months. Number 3 is blood sugar management. A 2013 study showed that nettle tea extract lowered blood glucose and A1C in a group of people with type 2 diabetes who were taking insulin as well as oral diabetes medications. Number 4, the power of polyphenols. Stinging nettles are high in a plant chemical called polyphenols. Research suggests that these powerful compounds may play a role in management and prevention of chronic diseases related to inflammation, such as diabetes, obesity, heart disease and even cancer. And number 5, anti-aging. Stinging nettles and many other plants also contain potent antioxidants, which are substances that protect the body from aging and cell damage. If you'd like to learn more about antioxidants and plant nutrition, check out the link on the screen now. Well, hopefully you're still with me and you haven't had to run off to the bathroom with the sound of this running water. Now, as I said, stinging nettle tea really produce a high nitrogen feed for your plants. If you're unaware of what an NPK rating is, here's a diagram to explain. NPK stands for nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. The nitrogen helps promote green leaves, phosphorus promotes roots and blooms, and the potassium promotes overall plant health. So here's the NPK rating for stinging nettle tea, and as you can see it also contains calcium, chlorophyll, iron, copper, zinc, magnesium and sulfur. So this fertiliser will give you really rich dark green leafy greens and is really good for promoting the overall plant health. The only thing I will say is if you're using this on high yield fruiting plants, you will need to add another high phosphorus feed, because you may end up growing loads of green foliage and not much fruit. But I've done loads of other videos on fertilisers to help that, so stick along until the end of the video and I'll leave the links there. So the next thing I'm going to do is just give it a stir and make sure that all the leaves are underneath the water, or the best that I can be. Give it a nice stir. Then once that's done, I'm just going to put the lid on. Make sure it's sealed. Now I cannot stress this point enough. I know that I've made the seaweed fertiliser and said that that smelt, but this stuff is awful. I mean, you're going to upset a lot of your neighbours if you end up spilling this. Definitely don't get it on your hands. It will stay on there for 2 or 3 days. It's really potent stuff. So all you need to do is make sure this is steeped, fermented, stewed, or however you want to, whatever words you want to use, and leave this for around a week or 2. That's minimum. Ideally you want to leave it up to around sort of 3 to 6 months, because it will just get thicker and thicker, and give it a stir sort of once a week or so. But this will be absolutely fantastic, really good for nitrogen hungry plants like leafy greens, cabbage, lettuce, peas and things like that. But this is absolutely fantastic. Now let's just say you fast forwarded to 3 months and it's really thick and dark and it's beautiful tea. Now it doesn't matter whether you use a cup, a mug or a jug. You want to make sure that you do 1 to 10. So let's just say you're using it's one full mug of tea to 10 full mugs of water. That's the ratio that you need, and always make sure that you just apply it to the roots. Don't spray it on the leaves, make sure it's just around the base, on and around the roots, and this will give you the best results. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Here's some links I'm going to show you for the rest of my fertiliser videos, and I'll see you again next time. Take care, good luck gardening this year. If you'd like to keep up to date on all of my future releases, click the subscribe button here. Here are some links to some of my other videos, and if you tried this or any other project, I'd love to see your progress, so please join my Facebook gardening group where thousands of people are sharing photos and ideas daily. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.